Gwaltney Group RE results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning, Andy Brownell, News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. And, of course, this morning we are chatting with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE results about real estate in the Rochester area, southern Minnesota. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
So, I saw a national news story on Friday about how all across the whole country the real estate boom is continuing as far as the home sales and the price of homes and I take it you're going to.
It's just unreal. It's unreal.
And are we? Is it still the situation? Supply of homes is nowhere meeting demand.
So I just took a few minutes to look at some of the statistics, and right now, currently in Rochester, there are 137 active listings. Now, when I say active listings, unfortunately, 27 of those are under inspection, okay? So really, there are 110 houses available.
Of every price range?
Of every price range.
Wow.
Of that 110, 9 of them are over $1 million, okay? So now for most buyers, that means there are 101 houses available. 22 of them are under $200,000. And I don't know, you and I have talked a lot about what you get these days for under $200,000. And boy, oh boy, it is not what it once was. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Since January 1st, we have had 243 houses come on the market. I think that's important because people ask me every day, will there be more houses coming? Will there be more listings? You know, do you think that when March comes, more people will be putting their houses on the market? I hope so. You know, I hope that every single week there will be more houses on the market. But I will tell you that anybody who is purposely holding off for the spring market, forget about it. The spring market has sprung, quite some time ago. It's this very, very unusual selling season. I told you 243 houses have been listed since January 1st. Well, 179 of them have closed.
Oh, my goodness.
So bottom line is the average days on market since the beginning of the year has been 6 days. Okay, 6 days on the market. And the average sale price has been 101.5%. Now, if you can buy a house today and only have to go 1.5% over the asking price, lucky you. I mean, I saw a meme on Facebook, and it says, when your buyer is all excited and they say, we want to go full price, and then there's a picture of the realtor cracking up laughing. I'm like, that's horrible. It's horrible. But it's just like so sad because it just depicts that it's a rare occasion in our market where a full price offer is actually the winning offer in these multiple situations.
And we're talking what they call it, the balanced market when you look at the statistics, right? Where the number of buyers is closely matching the number of sellers.
Yeah, and I think we have more, in our market, I think we definitely have more buyers than we do sellers. Right. But it's still... Have you ever seen it this far out of whack? No, I haven't. And I will tell you that what's really become obvious to me is that everywhere I turn, there is an article or a podcast about how to win in multiple offers. And we are getting emails from the legal department at our company, as well as a whole big packet from the legal department at the Minnesota Realtor Board, talking about multiple offers and what we can do and what we can't do and the proper way to handle them. I mean, so it's just like a whole education. So it's not only we agents trying to like when I come on this radio show, I try to educate the listeners about what they can do to win in multiple offers, but it's actually gone to the point where there are, the legal level of the advisors gets involved to say, now don't get crazy, because, you still have guidelines you have to follow and rules you have to follow, which it's so very true. And a lot of it comes with doing exactly what I talk about a lot, and that is preparing your sellers. Tell them this is what you're up for. This is what's going to happen. This is what you're in for, I guess is what I meant to say. This is what's going to happen. We're going to put the house on the market, and we're going to be bombarded with showing requests. So it's probably good that, and thank goodness it's going to warm up a little bit, but I have to tell you, with those really drastically cold temperatures and having sellers with babies or dogs and having to get them out of the house and say, sorry, but we've got 13 showings back to back, so you got to, scoot and be gone for the next 6 hours. It's not fun.
This is insane, almost, what you're describing to me. I imagine that there are out there on the internet discussion groups going on amongst people who are trying to buy homes, strategizing.
I'm sure. And I hope that there are a lot of realtors out there paying close attention to all the advice that we have coming at us, because you've heard me say a million times, it's still our obligation as a realtor to abide by those fiduciary duties and keep their best interest at heart, right? So when I see some what I deem pretty reckless offers coming across the table, no appraisal, no inspection, $40,000 over the ask, we just want to win. I think, oh my gosh, I sure hope that this is all coming from the buyer and not from any pressure from a realtor.
Well, also, at some point, the market's going to cool. It has to.
Yeah.
Everything goes in a cycle.
It'll happen. Yeah. I don't see it happening anytime soon, but it also can't continue at this pace for too long of a period, I wouldn't think. Otherwise, I don't know. It is some crazy stuff.
Well, the prices keep going up at the rate they're going up. It's all of a sudden become advantageous to start building a lot more homes.
Well, let's hope that happens sooner rather than later. That's what we need, is some inventory.
So what kind of questions do you field from people about, you mentioned people calling or emails, what kind of things are you hearing about multiple offers? And what do people want to know?
Well, okay, so I will say these are the things. There's some really important guidelines, if I may. It's really important to educate the seller at the time of the listing, right? We have to, before I say, oh, by the way, Andy, I've got 14 offers for you, I better have said to you when I sat down, now be prepared, because this is the way the market is right now, so this is what you can expect. So I think that educating that seller from the get-go is super important, okay? And then it's also really important that as agents, we have the conversation with our sellers to understand what they want us to disclose and what they don't, okay? Because sometimes agents, well, not sometimes, almost always, agents will call and say, hey, do you mind? Can you tell me? Have you received any offers yet? Or how many offers have you received? And there are things that we cannot share with other agents without the permission of our sellers. So, I think it's really important that agents just really adhere to the code of ethics and the professionalism that we all hope to see from each other, right? And of course, another thing is, I think it's really important for agents to understand that and for sellers to understand, for that matter, that the final decision is always the seller's. Whether it's what the agent wants or hopes or think should happen, it's our job to listen to what they want and help them get that put through, right?
Yeah.
And as far as buyers, oh boy, we really need to educate the buyers so that they don't start to become super deflated in a quick hurry. And every agent has a different kind of idea of how multiple offers should be handled and how they educate the seller. And some of them think that, the more offers, the better. And that's not necessarily the way I think about it. I think, how long do you want to be put out of your house? How many offers do you want to cut this off at? Because the truth of the matter is, you can only sell your house to one person. And again, the house is only going to appraise so high. And if you want to choose from the first 3 offers or the first 5 offers, certainly your prerogative. Then you're done showing houses. And the argument might be that that's not working in the best interest of the seller. But keep in mind, the seller has signed a listing contract, a legal document saying, I sit right here and agree to sell my house for this number as long as my terms are met. So one might say, if you've got 5 offers in hand after 5 hours on the market,
yeah,
what is the point of waiting 5 more days?
Yeah, what more do you want?
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's perceived that that listing agent is just waiting until they get a phone call and they get a buyer who wants to buy the property. And, if that's what their seller is hoping to, there's nothing illegal about it, but I don't know that it's not the way I would do it. I mean, everybody has a different practice.
Okay. We're talking about this crazy multiple offer situation that's in the dead of winter has become the dominant feature of the real estate market, not here just in Rochester, but it looks like
across the nation.
Yeah, many
everywhere.
And we'll continue with that discussion with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM in just a moment.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've missed Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. Andy Brownell with News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. And what else can we talk about? This super hyper real estate market that's going on out there with not enough inventory and an abundance of buyers. And you mentioned that a lot of your time has to be spent educating the seller about what to expect when they put their homes on the market. How do you address the current situation when you're talking to the person who wants to buy?
Well, I can speak for myself, okay? If I have a buyer, and especially a first-time homeowner, I just feel like the first time we meet, it has to be about, okay, you've picked a really interesting time to buy a house, okay? Number one, you are going to get your loan, your interest rate, lower than anybody who's ever come before you. I mean, seriously, these interest rates are just very, very low, lowest they've ever been. So this is great. So we start on the high note, right? But the problem is, because you and everybody else who's buying a house right now is getting that same deal, it's a great time to buy a house. Well, then comes supply and demand, because everybody's out trying to buy houses. There's just not enough for everyone. So I try to, I guess, educate them and make them understand that it's not going to be easy. We're not going to go out, find a house that you like, offer full price, or heaven forbid, offer 97% of ask, or ask the seller to pay the closing cost. I mean, we're not going to do any of those things and expect to get the house, okay? It's just not the market we're in. So I tell them, you need to be prepared to pay your own closing costs. You need to be prepared to look at the inspection that the seller may be providing you and go over it and use that inspection report in lieu of getting your own inspection. Or, as we've talked in the past, maybe say, yes, I am going to do an inspection because I'm not comfortable buying a house without one. But yet, if I don't feel comfortable with buying the house, I am willing to walk away and forfeit my earnest money. Because I would rather do that than buy a house that has big, bad, expensive problems. So I really do just spend time saying, this is it. This is what's going to happen. And we may go out there and write offers on 3 or 4 or 5 different houses before you actually get one. But that's because I'm going to guide you and protect you and not let you go crazy and buy with your emotions. You know, this is still a huge financial investment, and I want you to be smart and be careful and be safe. Now, the next thing I have to talk about, of course, is dual agency, because if they happen to be making an offer on one of my listings or another listing by any RE/MAX results agent, then it becomes dual agency, which means now I have to take into consideration the best interest of both the buyer and the seller. Okay? So I can't tell them, this is what I think you should offer. I absolutely can't. It's against the rules. Okay? So I have to say, this is the reason that I educated you. This is the reason that I told you what it's going to take to win. This is the reason I told you how aggressive offers will have to be. This is the reason I told you some of the tactics that you can take to have your offer selected. But, you know, I can't do it at that time. So if I haven't done my job ahead of time, teaching them how this whole thing is going to play out, then I've put them in a really bad spot.
So in that kind of situation, do you just wait for them to put the number on it and then you still create the offer?
Absolutely. Yep. I then have to sit down with them and say, how much do you want to put for earnest money? What do you want to offer? What closing day do you want? Do you want to make this contingent upon an inspection? I just go down right through the questions and ask them as I go and let them answer. And when they say to me, what do you think? Because they always do. That's when I have to say, you guys remember when we had that nice long conversation about dual agency and how when it comes to dual agency, I can't do anything that's going to be to your benefit over the benefit of the seller.
What about if you have dual agency and you're the seller? Is it kind of the same situation?
Yes, same situation. It's very same.
So you can't tell them which offer to take?
I cannot. And, you know, the truth of the matter is that, again, like I said earlier, ultimately it's the seller's decision no matter what. It's never, you know, like I have heard agents say to me on the other end of the phone, well, I won't even present that offer. And I say, well, that's illegal. You know, all offers have to be presented, and the seller gets to decide. And if my buyer has written an offer that agent doesn't think is going to win, they might be 100% right, but it's still not their decision to make.
I understand, yeah. That makes absolutely perfect sense. Almost like if you're an attorney, you have a duty to present whatever offer is out there. Yeah.
And you know, this is the thing. Real estate is a profession, and we should be held to the high standards that have been predetermined, okay? And that does include fiduciary duties to our clients, and those should be taken very seriously. And I think sometimes some agents, whether they're just new and don't know better, or been around time and don't care, or just super aggressive, sometimes people do some things to win that personally I view as reckless, but I'm not their judge.
All right, we're talking with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results, about multiple offers, which is, it sounds like no matter what, unless you're looking at $1 million home, you're facing the situation. And maybe even in that situation, you never know. We'll be back in just a moment here on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Today we decided to walk to school. The light counted.
Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back. I'm Andy Brownell, News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. And we've been talking about the continued crazy real estate market that's out there. And Robin, I realize I really haven't asked you lately how things are going with the Gwaltney Group itself.
Well, actually very, very well. We've been extremely busy and, doing business the right way and working hard and winning some of the offers and losing some of the offers, but luckily listing a lot of properties, so getting a lot of deals done. So things have been going great for us. And, of course, the busier we get, then the demand for more team members keeps arising. And so we do have, I'm pretty excited about a young man that's going to be joining our team. He has gotten through real estate school, and we've sent off for his license. So when I talk about new, I mean he is brand new, and he is anxious to get going. So, yeah, I'd like to introduce him to you, actually.
Okay.
He's here at the office today, so let me put Hunter Oldendorf on, and you can ask him what he's excited about.
Well, fantastic. Thanks, Robin. Hello, Hunter. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. So I guess I'm going to ask you a real point-blank question. As Robin has described this real estate market, and it seems it seems very exciting. I'll say that. What made you decide that this is the career you wish to pursue, getting into real estate?
Well, I didn't actually think about real estate until like a year ago, when one of my other colleagues who works here, Jeff Leland, he explained to me what real estate was, and I showed interest about it, because I worked for a framing company before this, and I really show interest in like remodeling homes and stuff like that, and like I watch all the HGTV shows and stuff like that, and so I figured real estate would be perfect. And then I started getting into it and learning more about it, and I found what I wanted to do for a career.
It connected with Robin. That was a good choice right there.
Yes, I did. Wonderful lady.
So are you excited to jump into this and
yes,
and get out there and make multiple offers and all of that?
Yes, and I'm so glad I'm working with such a great team. Robin was explaining me, and I kind of figured out myself that so many people from different backgrounds can come together as one and create such a great team and a great group of human beings. Like, I've met with just a couple of the other agents that work here, and all of them have been so helpful with any questions I have. They're all willing to work with me, and I know from the little bit I've talked to Robin before I started here at the Gwaltney Group, she's just super hard worker. She's willing to help anyone out, and I kind of strive to have the abilities that she does, because she's just such a great person, and she's gone far with everything she has in life.
She is very goal-oriented. I know that for sure. So I wish you luck, and I hope we can speak again in the future as you embark further into your real estate career.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Hunter. We're back with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Robin, Hunter seems excited, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I promise you I didn't pay him to go on and say how great I was. How sweet is he? But yeah, he's going to be a great fit on this team, because he has so much compassion for people, and he's got really good work ethic. So we're excited to have him join us. As you know, we aren't really trying to grow the team. It's been happening organically, and people come to us who are the right fit, and it happens. So we're excited to have him.
Well, I'm glad you have him on your team, and I look forward to maybe chatting another time when he gets
after he's actually licensed and starts working.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, as you pointed out, there are homes for sale. And if you're listening right now and you're thinking about putting your home up for sale, as you pointed out, the spring market is here and has been here. How how do we get a hold of you, Robin, and how do we get things in motion if you're a buyer or a seller?
Absolutely. Feel free to call me on my cell phone, 507-259-4926. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, be it buyer or seller, or if you just need some guidance, or better yet, you need a realtor to help you sell or buy your house.
Fantastic. Thanks, Robin. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you.
All right, Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Mayo Clinic Radio on the Hub.